Hi everyone, for this video I want to do something different from what I usually do on this channel because a little game recently came out called Esports Manager 2026 and I just wanted to see if it's any good, and spoiler alert, not really in its current state, but there is potential. If you want a quick review, this game is like a 2 out of 10 with 8 out of 10 potential. Thanks for watching, bye. But I want to take a deeper look here, talk about every individual aspect of it and let you know what I think, and also show it to you so that maybe you can make your own opinion. Although the game is for free on Steam right now, in a demo. So you can absolutely go and check it out yourself if you want to. Okay, regardless, let's start the new save. I played a little save earlier as just a random character here with a random team. Let's just start a new save. As you can see, I have some saves, nonetheless, if we continue, you'll see that we start with a manager creator. And I'm just gonna randomize them as I did in the previous ones. And we also got some settings here in terms of like skill points or something, and some temperament settings, which as of right now I think don't really do anything. At least I didn't see them do anything in the game. I'm not sure. Honestly, you'd have to ask the creators to know if they do anything. I haven't seen it at least, but the demo is pretty short, so maybe they just didn't take effect yet. I don't know. We'll see. For now, let's continue. And now you can either start with an existing org or create your own. Now I'll show you real quick what creating your own org looks like. You just have this extra screen here where you can set the logo, you can set the name of it, everything that you would want. I mean, maybe not everything, but there's a bunch of options here. Of course you can just randomize the logo. But yeah, we're gonna just go with an existing organization. Now, when it comes to team selection, I think you can see the first issues with the game here. Because if you look at some of the orgs here, I just took a second to find some. You got orgs like Apogee with some very weird logos. I also remember Heroic. Yeah, Heroic has some odd colors on their logo. Ends Academy and Ends both seem very broken. There's some issues with the logos for sure. And also the database itself is very outdated. If we look at some of these teams, I'm not sure which ones would be good examples right now. Let me just find some. Okay, so as a bit of a combo, you got Furia with, first of all, probably the wrong logo, I'd say. I mean, I don't remember Furia having a white logo. And also no Molotov on the team. As you can see, there is no slider there, so I can't see any more players here because there aren't any more players. Molotov is not here. And, some flags, like, the flag of Latvia here, they're not really great. And actually it also says that here your team has less than 5 players. Here you have the player count. So yeah, there isn't a Molotov on Furia, for example. And there's a bunch of teams that are missing some players or just have older squads than right now. Like, for example, BC Game, actually. BC Game, again, no spacebar. BC dot game. They have still, like, Sasanido, Nexa, Prime Tabs, Emmy, Undo, and Simple. The fact that Simple is here is honestly surprising. Yeah, they don't have electronic though, so that's a bit outdated, and the logo is also fucked. Yeah, regardless, I'm gonna pick 3D Max, and now here we get to just sign it and move on. And yeah, you're gonna just see James Banks here as the tutorial first, but after skipping James Banks, which the tutorial is like fine, there's a couple of translation issues here and there, but nothing big. Also, it's the beta. I'm sure it's gonna be fixed for the final release. But okay, I wanna just go through these screens here and quickly showcase them. Don't wanna spend too long on them, but there is a bunch of them here, so I'm sorry if it lasts a while. Now, okay, first of all, the home screen. It has some useful info, like the budget breakdown over here. Also some rankings here. They don't really work right now in the beta, but they are here, so I'm assuming they're gonna be fixed for the final release. And also our matches that we have played or are going to play. Now, something that immediately jumps out at me here is that there isn't any info on what team we are playing as over here. Like, I imagine this wishlist now button is gonna be replaced with it, but again, might just be a demo thing, right? I'm assuming the wishlist button is gonna be gone in the final release. I hope so. But there is definitely space on the top here to add more information than just the date. But okay, moving on, we've got the inbox. And in the inbox, you can see we're being welcomed to the team right now. And yeah, we can see outgoing and incoming messages here, related mostly to things outside the org, like transfer news, tournament invites, and such. Meanwhile, here's the talk screen, and this is where we can see conversations with our staff and our players. And to be honest, they aren't the best thing ever. They sometimes just seem AI generated, I'm gonna be honest. But that's not really the biggest issue. The way they sound is like not a big issue. My issue is that they are functionally useless. Let me give you an example here. If, say, a coach messages me and says we need to ramp up intensity for a player, whether I agree or disagree, nothing happens. I still have to manually go to the training screen, change things there. There isn't like a link to do it, there isn't anything that does it automatically, I still have to do it by myself. So, we'll get to training as well and all that, but right now I think the conversation screen is just really annoying, if anything, and not useful at all. And also a couple of conversation topics are straight up broken right now in the beta. Like, I had my scout come to me to offer me a player to sign. I asked him, okay, what is the player? He said he's gonna send me the info on them. And I never got any info on any player. So this is just, again, hopefully gonna be fixed. There's a lot of stuff like that in this game where I look at it and I'm like, this has potential, but needs to be fixed. And this is just one of those things. After that, the squad screen, and again, ignore the Danish lucky for now, we're gonna get to it. But yeah, the squad screen. We can see all our players here, we can see also their profiles if we click on them. And in their profiles, this is like very FM coded. We got a couple of their stats, their attributes, we got some information here from Wikipedia. And well, the stats, they're something else that's gonna need a lot of work. Some of them are quite absurd. Honestly, I didn't look at any individual players so far, but just like the overall ratings of players are a bit absurd. You'll see what I mean when we get to scouting. But moving on for now, we got the staff screen here. I mean, the staff is nothing to really... it's nothing to write home about. I mean, just randomly generated names and countries put into different roles, which some of these roles right now don't do anything, I'm pretty sure. Like event manager, lawyer, PR manager even, I don't think they do anything. These roles over here, they actually do stuff. Well, except for the scout. I don't know what the scout does really. But the coach, the physio, the psychologist, and the nutritionist, they all pretty much just help you with training, which we're moving on to right now. Although I do think I'm gonna leave that for last actually. Yeah, because training, I have some issues with training. Let's just move over to the next category for now. So the base camp. This is where you can buy gear for the team, and this I think is just a nice way to bring in sponsors for the game itself. You can just say, hey, Steel Series, wanna be featured in our game? And then put them in this tab. I think that's a very smart way of doing it, if they want to do it this way. As for gameplay, these things can just be treated like upgrades, I guess. They just buff your players. As you can see over here, you get the bonuses from them. And if you buy better gear, I assume you get more bonuses. Honestly, I haven't even looked at the gear too much yet. But yeah, it's a pretty fair assumption, right? Now, tournaments, you get things like you get things like AIM Kraków, which totally isn't IEM Kraków. Don't confuse the two. And I mean, the tournament screen is okay. I think it could be better in terms of readability. Right now it doesn't matter too much because the game is only a month long anyways, but if we get into like longer time periods, it might be useful to have like a calendar here. Yeah, by the way, a calendar in general is something this game needs, I think, because right now it doesn't have it, and I think it would improve gameplay clarity a lot. I think it would make looking at your schedule much easier than just having to imagine all the dates in your head, essentially. Now, scouting is up next, and this is where I want to take a little break from speedrunning the tabs and actually show you something in more detail. This is also where I want to talk about the elephant in the room being lucky. And if we just look up lucky, let's just see. We got lucky. This is the lucky that we have on our team, right? So, man, I don't know how they fucked it up so badly, but first of all, they put the Danish lucky in 3D Max instead of the French lucky. Which is like, this is the understandable part. They just moved the wrong lucky, fine, whatever, they made a mistake in the files. It's okay. My bigger question is about the French lucky, and how have they managed to, first of all, make him an opera? Second of all, put the Danish lucky's picture on his profile. I don't understand how you managed to do that, but okay, whatever. They put the Danish lucky here. But to make it even better, if we go back to scouting and just look up Sashi, right? We got the Sashi players. As you can see, Sashi only have 4 players. So not only did they move the French lucky to have no team, they also then went ahead and moved the Danish lucky over to 3D Max and didn't put anyone on Sashi to replace Lucky. How do you not notice that? Where is that oversight? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter for the game too much. I just had to vent about it here because of how absurd it is. I just found it very funny, to be honest. Oh, also I realized while preparing for this video, you can apparently sign a player and then lose the player if a different team approaches him like a day later. Because it takes like 2 weeks for the players to actually be considered as part of your team. There's like a downtime between you talking to them, signing the contracts, and them actually joining. And if during that downtime a different team approaches them, they can absolutely just steal them away for free. So the player will join your team for like a day or 2 and then they will leave. So I think that's kind of dumb, but again, demo stuff. I assume they would fix it in the full game. But okay, back to scouting. We get a search bar, of course, to look for specific players. We get some filters here. We can look at roles, nations, some other stuff. This is all very useful. I like it. I think there could be more filters, but again, something that probably would come in the full game, I hope. And you know, we're gonna try to actually sign the correct Lucky now, I guess, just to also go through transfers right now. So if we look at his profile, we can go to the contract category actually. We also have like transfers here, so we can see his transfer history. We got his statistics, which right now come from nothing, but you know, I'm assuming they would be updated if we actually played some games. Although I think, if I remember correctly, I looked at stats during one of my previous saves, and I don't think they worked properly yet. But you know, again, the vision is here, right? As with most things in this game. And then you've got training, which, okay, yeah, it brings me here for some reason. Nonetheless, back to the player profiles. The French Lucky here, we're gonna make him an offer. Let's check out again what wage does he want. He wants 42k. I mean, we're gonna give him 45 then, just to make sure he accepts here. Money is not an issue in this demo. Let's give him a 12-month contract, 45,000. And yeah, you can see, you can set the duration and wage right now. The start date is going to be the 16th. So it's 15 days from now, basically 2 weeks. You cannot change this right now. You can't do like loans. You can't change the starting date. So yeah, we're just gonna do this and send it to him, and we'll get a reply soon. Also, and about the ratings, because I was supposed to talk about ratings. Like, if we sort players by rating here, we can see from the highest to lowest. And you can see that you've got Zaiwu, you've got Dong, you've got Simple, and then you've got DEA, or Dia. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but I wonder how many of you know this player. He's apparently he's the 4th best player in the world. But I mean, last I checked, he was playing in tier 3 and A. Okay, maybe tier 2 and A. I mean, however you want to define tiers. So I don't think he's the 4th best player in the world. And same story if we sort it this way. We got Melkis, I don't know that guy. We got Lord, who I'm pretty sure is retired, and I don't think he's 22, although I'm not sure. Lord is a coach, by the way. Lord is a coach, that's for sure. And then you've got Chiron. I don't think Chiron is the 3rd worst player in the world, especially with some of the players that are in this game. So yeah, I would put Chiron above the EA, by the way. I would definitely put him above him. So yeah, this is what I meant when I said the ratings are a bit absurd, right? But you know, all of this, also the wages and the player values also probably need fixing, but all of this is just down to the database being a bit wrong, right? And like, I think transfer values especially are a bit of a tough thing to do in esports because we don't really have clarity on that often. But yeah, look, the database issue is a whole nother issue, right? Like, it's just something that they need, like, I don't know, they need like a community effort to fix it, I think. Like, hire some people who know specific scenes, like local scenes, and have them rate the players in them, right? Someone who's actually like knowledgeable. It's gonna be tough to find people who are objective in that case, so again, it's not the perfect solution, but it's better than having whatever ratings there are now. Or even better, actually, one better idea. They should just add an editor. Like, let us just edit the players and their stats. That would be perfect. And then let us share those edits, so that someone can just make a somewhat accurate version of this and then share it for everyone. I would make it myself gladly if they gave me a chance. Like, whoever made this game, if you want someone to make ratings for you, call me. I'm gonna make ratings for you for these players, okay? And I'm gonna like even look through this list and see who is retired and who's like not supposed to be here, and maybe find some players who should be added to this list, okay? Yeah, I don't know how objective I would be though. You'd have to see, you'd have to take a bet on me. Now, okay, after that we have staff search, which is just a very similar screen but for staff members. None of these people are real as far as I'm aware. The transfers tab, which just holds transfer history for your team and for everything on the save that happened. You get the finances tab, which, you know, you have the financial breakdown here, as you'd expect. Not very useful in the month-long beta, so it's tough to rate it right now, but it seems alright. There's a couple of, couple of filters. It's fine. Then you got some info on your org. Again, some Liquipedia stuff here, some of your in-game results, all good. Sponsors, they seem like a good way to, again, include some real-life companies who might be collaborating with the game in the future, right? What I don't like, though, is the way that sponsor contracts work. So if you look here, you get the possible terms here, and this is just, to me, a bit too gamey, I would say. This is like, you get a quest, and you gotta complete it for a reward, which is not really how contracts work. I mean, okay, there isn't anything that absurd here, I don't think, but like, okay, I've seen earlier one of the requirements was to get a 70% win rate on a map. Like, I'm sorry, what sponsor cares about you getting a good win rate on a single map? But yeah, I think sponsor contracts should be either made more realistic or just cut from the game altogether, honestly. I don't think this is something we need, but if it's here, I mean, I think it might be better to just fix it instead of completely gutting it. Moving on though, statistics. Here we got the ratings again, the ones that didn't work on the main screen, they also don't work here. These just don't change. You know, I played a couple of games, or at least the positioning here doesn't change, right? Like 3D Max will be number 1, Vitality will be number 2, no matter if we go through the entire month or not. I mean, the stats might actually change. To be honest, I didn't look at that, but at least the positioning of teams, it doesn't change here. So yeah. Okay, the shop is just a place for you to buy stuff for the base camp. I mean, as far as I'm aware, none of these like companies are real. I mean, of course, these aren't, but like I checked and I don't think there's any real company here. I haven't seen any SteelSeries gear. I haven't seen any, I don't know, what else is there? Honestly, I'm just blanking out right now. Yeah, I haven't seen any real companies, is the gist of it. And then last but not least, we've got tactics. And tactics, hey, here's the thing on tactics. You can make your own. You got the tactics creator here. And the pre-made ones also do exist. But the pre-made ones are pretty terribly made. Now, one thing I have mostly ignored throughout my playtime here was making my custom tactics. Because I just don't feel like making my own tactics for a month-long demo, right? Like in-game month-long demo. But I did hear that apparently the players actually listen to you when you make a tactic for them and tell them to play it. I've heard that from someone on Twitter at least, so, you know, believe it if you want to. But yeah, one thing I'm not sure about right now is how much these tactics actually matter. Do they matter in fact at all? Or are the matches still mostly just coin flips? Because they very much felt like coin flips to me so far, but I'll talk about it more once I start the match, okay? We'll get to it. And okay, as for the training system, because that's the last thing left, this one really baffles me. I think it baffles me the most out of everything in this game right now. So, like, okay, we have these 4 categories to coach players in, and first of all, 2 of them are the same. If you look here, physiotherapist and nutritionist, they have the same, like, here, the things here, the attributes, like the same attributes, yeah. But one of them is just better, depending on which one turns out better for you, right? For me here, it's nutritionist. Often physiotherapists are just gonna have higher ratings here. So yeah, one of them is just a better version of the other one. But then another question is, what reason is there to not train a player? Because right now, from what I can see, there isn't any reason not to train them. I mean, if I train them, their stats might go up, which is great, right? I want to train them then. And there doesn't seem to be like a stamina system or anything. I mean, we got health here, which is health supposed to be stamina? What is health, actually? I'm not sure what is health, honestly. And yeah, you get the efficiency here. You get the changes per month, right? How much they actually improved. You can ask for reports on that. But like, is there a reason not to do it? Like, not to just train everyone in every possible category? Because if there isn't a reason to just not train them, then I mean, why even have this tab at all? Why even have training as a mechanic? I mean, you can just automatically have all players train at all times, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think this is something to definitely look forward to as an update in the future, because if training really does have no drawbacks, then I think they have to be added. Like, again, some sort of like burnout system maybe. There needs to be a reason to just change the training regimen for those players. So yeah, unless something is expanded upon here in the upcoming updates, right now this tab might as well not exist. But okay, with all of those tabs finally explored, how about we just skip into a match? Okay, I'm just gonna skip a few days and I'll see you once a match pops up. And we have a game against Monty. Now, first thing, I think we need more info on the game screen. If we look here, yeah, there's like nothing here, we can see the odds, that's it. This is a bit annoying, honestly, because I want to see the lineups. Recent form of the teams would also be nice. Individual ratings of players. Just give us more info here, honestly. Whatever will work. All we can see are the odds, and that's just not enough. Moving on. Let's just press play. Let's see what happens. So, we get into the map picks. And again, I don't think map pools are a thing right now. So we can just pick random maps here. I mean, I would like to try to go to Nuke, because I'm pretty sure this will showcase something I just want to show here. Yeah, let's see. Well, they banned Nuke, so we're going to Mirage now, guys. Now we got some of the like demo tactics here, which again, as I said, I don't think they matter too much. So I'm just gonna pick demo balanced for this one. And we're gonna start on the T side here. And okay, as soon as I can, I'm gonna pause this because I have some things to say before we get into the game. So what I wanted to showcase on Nuke, because I think it might be a little map dependent, is that the city side in this game is miserable. T-sides seem to win like every single round. Okay, but first let's talk about the game a bit more maybe, okay, before I get sidetracked. First of all, the in-game tactics that are pre-made here, The reason they work so poorly is because they seem to just have a bunch of options picked at random, so they don't correlate with their names at all. They might even all be the same tactic, honestly. I didn't look that deep into it, but what I've seen is like the Beerus tactic has early round instructions set to like one player goes A, two people go B, one person goes mid, also wait for contact, instead of just rushing B, right? Which is what the name says. So the tactics don't really work here. I would have to make my own, which again, I don't feel like making my own tactics if I can only play for a month with them. That seems like a waste of time. And then as for the visual side of things, I think it looks okay. I mean, let's be real, people don't play games like this for their visuals. They play it for the deeper gameplay, right? For the tactics, for the management side of it. Not because it looks nice. I mean, look at Football Manager, guys. Football Manager actually kind of started failing as soon as it got pretty, so maybe it's better to stay ugly. No, but okay, a couple of things on this screen. We have some settings at the bottom. We can change the view to more of a top-down view here. Yeah, more like a bird's eye view here, right? And for some reason it's grayed out while it's paused. But what we can do here is we can toggle the player names and icons, right? So we can set it to only show the icons or also the names and portraits. And then other than that, we've got some basic speed settings, and also skipping over to the next round as possible. Now, okay, as for the gameplay itself, it's okay, right? Like, the AI isn't super bad. I don't think anyone will play this kind of game for the graphics anyways, as I said. So, looking at the screen, I mean, this is more like... Well, it's more like feedback on if your players are actually following the tactics, I guess. So the game is just kind of creating problems for itself with this. But I mean, yeah, it's good that it has a showcase like this of what's happening in the round, right? It's much better this way. But I wouldn't look at it as like the end-all be-all of this game. Yeah, here you can also pick tactics between rounds. Again, as I said, I'm not going to be paying too much attention to it. But okay, an issue that I wanted to talk about that seems to be present in the game from the very beginning is that winning on the city side is just an absolute mess. It's like almost impossible. Now, I'm going to give you an example here of a game I played, because I thought it was just, you know, in the like demo intro that they posted on Twitter a while back, you could see it. I thought they would change something about it, but no, they didn't. I played a game on Nuke when I was playing a save as Betclic Apogee, and I was losing 0-12 on the city side. But then I won the map 16-12. That means there were 27 rounds in a row won by the T side. Until the 28th round in overtime where I closed out the game 16-12, right? This is just a little absurd. And this seems to be, yeah, this seems to be the pattern here as well. I mean, just another round won by the T side. And I think this is going to be a stomp because, yeah, starting on the T side, I should just win this easily. So yeah, we're not going to sit for an entire match here, especially while the tactics matters a little. So I'm just going to get back to you guys with the result in a while. So the game ended up being a lot closer than I thought it would be. We'll see if we can close it out anytime soon. I mean, we got to 12 rounds on the city side actually, which is very impressive. But we might still lose this. Honestly, this is still very likely a comeback here from Monty. Because this game, again, it doesn't like the city side at all. I also realized I didn't mention the lucky transfer too much. So, yeah, we're gonna get back to that once the game's over. And in terms of the gameplay itself, like, if you want to see more of it, if you want to actually, you know, play a full game, the game is free on Steam right now. I mean, you can just go and start the download while watching this video. It's very small as well. It's probably gonna download in like 2 seconds. So yeah, it doesn't take a lot to run this game. We might be going overtimes here. So yeah, I'll get back to you guys with the result, I guess. Not great, not great. Are we gonna win this now? Oh, no way. Okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna be even cutting that out if this is the end. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna... Yeah, it would be useful to... it would be useless to make a cut there, sorry. Oh, actually not the end. Okay, I might cut it. No way. I mean, it would be embarrassing to lose this one on the T side of all things. After all I said, after all the shit I talked about city sides, it would be real embarrassing to lose now. But I think we might be going down here. Unless Lucky and Exercise can clutch up. Well, I think Lucky just started planting in the face of everyone. Yeah, wow, we actually lost it. Yeah, I mean, that's the game, you know. Again, maybe with custom tactics, maybe it would be something more. But yeah, you can see the end game screen also doesn't really have any statistics for you, which annoys me a bit as well. I think that's something they need to add, more stats on the end game screen. So yeah, again, if you want to see a full match, play it yourself. But okay, what I also wanted to look at is the transfer saga of Lucky joining us, right? So you can see that CS2 News is featured here and gives you updates on transfers sometimes. But what I really want to look for now is the message we got that was about Lucky. Oh, this is the message we sent to Lucky. But then here Lucky responds, he's satisfied with the contract, everything looks in order, I accepted the contract and now he will join us on the 16th. So if we just skip a bunch, we're gonna get to it. There's more games to be played actually, and yeah, we got some talks as well. I'm just gonna skip it again for you. Okay, so interesting thing, I wanted to show you the transfer, but it seems to have not gone through. Yeah, I think the transfer is broken. I mean, it says he's on 3D Max, but if I look at the squad, he is very much not on 3D Max. There is no bench squad to look at. Okay, so I guess Lucky is not joining us after all. Too bad. But yeah, he should appear here in the bench squad, and at that point I could remove someone from the main squad and then add him to the main squad. So that's how it should work. I don't know why it didn't work in this case. Nonetheless, maybe it's because... Curious, maybe this is because we have Lucky on the team already. So they added the new Lucky, and he just overlapped with the current Lucky. There's a chance that happened, which is stupid if that's the case, but it might have happened. But okay, that's really it for the main part of the game. Some other pet peeves I have though. Of course, the most broken system of all is the database here. They need to fix the database. I mean, you can just look at the logos here. Of course, some of them are due to licensing issues, right? Like Vitality or Falcons here. You're not gonna get Vitality Falcons. There's also G2 here actually. You're not gonna get them here because of licenses, unless something changes. But the logos of teams that are already licensed should be fixed, right? Because I'm assuming they are licensed when we have logos like Pain or like Aurora. I mean, Apogee is licensed and their logo is broken. So I'm assuming these just need to be replaced with new pictures, which again probably could just be taken from Wikipedia, I would assume. The weird manager stats thing is also something I hope is expanded upon. Something I haven't mentioned yet, transfer logic. Transfers make no sense here. If we look at the transfers, I bet you can see some nonsense transfers here already. I mean, I've seen some absurd moves in my previous saves. I've seen Zaiwu going to FlyQuest Red. So yeah, there's always a bunch of absurd transfers. Yeah, and for some reason Zaiwu always leaves Vitality. I don't know why. Here he went to CC State Punks, which don't have a team. That's actually because he just moved there and he's gonna only join on the 30th. Yeah, so like he signed the contract already, but he didn't actually switch teams yet. But yeah, no, regardless of that, transfer logic needs fixing. There's so many easy fixes to it, honestly. Just like set some limits on teams. You can like region lock some teams, like, I don't know, have, let's say, I mean, you've got an example right here. You've got Gen 1. Why not just make it so that Gen 1, instead of signing Tucson, Tnir, and Slacks, can only sign French players? Things like that, which you can just change them with time. Like maybe do like a yearly review of whether teams have changed their transfers politics. And if they did, then you just change it so that they are actually correct for the time being. Now the other thing is in-game balance, right? Like I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I'll have to maybe play more matches to see if actually tactics do matter or not. Or maybe I'll just wait for someone more knowledgeable to make a video on that. I don't know. We'll see. In-game roles, like Opers not using the op in-game is what I mean. In the actual matches. Like I've had that, again, on my Apogee save. I had, I think it was MHL. No, I don't know. I signed some Oper from Poland. I don't remember who it was now. But instead of this Oper in the matches, Diha was oping. So, yeah, I don't know. It makes no sense. Then, the rankings, all the statistics and everything that needs to work because, I mean, that's a big part of why people play games like Football Manager. They want to look at the stats. They want to be able to review the history of their team. And finally, the training system, also pretty important, I'd say, to be able to grow your own players, grow your own team. This needs to work a lot better. So yeah, these are my takeaways as to what needs fixing. But yeah, overall though, I think the game has a lot of potential. With some work put into it, a lot of work put into it, this can be a great title for people who enjoy CS Esports to just sit back and, engulf themselves in their own fantasy of leading an esports team. To all those people who are suggesting roster changes on HLTV, this is the game for you. As for me, I'm gonna be following this game very closely. If any big updates happen, I'm gonna make videos on them for sure, because I really have high hopes around this project. So yeah, you can expect more content with it as long as they actually keep developing it. But that would be it for this video. Just wanted to kind of showcase it to everyone, make sure that the word gets out there that this game is a thing, and make sure it can gather even more community support than it did already. Because it is already pretty loud, I would say, this release of this thing. It was pretty loud, at least in the Twitter circles from what I've seen. So yeah, I guess that's it from me for today. I hope you hear me in another video, and bye.